Is everybody ready? Okay. Welcome to Monozukuri Hardware Cup 2022. Today, 7 innovative hardware startups are here. First winner will grab 300,000 yen to attend the US tour. So first, Monozukuri Hardware Startup Consortium Chairman, Narimasa Makino, greets you.
Hi, good morning. So I'm Makino, the chairman of the Monozukuri Hardware Startup Consortium and the CEO of the Monozukuri Ventures. So it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm very happy to be able to face today. Now, welcome to the Monozukuri Hardware Cup 2022. So first, let me introduce why we started the Hardware Cup. You can imagine the hardware journey is very hard. So many startup companies that face a lot of the problem. This problem, not only Japanese startup company, around the world, the startup company have a same problem. So we try to change this problem. So Hardware Cup, have started in since 2015. Today, the founder of the Ilana that joined today meeting as a judge. I'm very happy to she joined today's Monozukuri Hardware Cup. Anyway, we want to solve the problem. So we cooperate around the world. So why we started the Monozukuri Hardware Cup in Kyoto? You know, so there are a lot of manufacturing related company in Kyoto. These company that collaborate all together, and so not only the Japanese large Kyoto-based large company, around these are global company, so many the small and middle size the enterprise company, they are very collaborated, supporting the hardware startup company. So it is why, and we started the Monozukuri Hardware Cup in Kyoto. The Monozukuri Hardware Cup that have started since 2017. This time and 6 times. This year in Kyoto by the online. Today's 7 startup company make a presentation in all English. So we want to give us the gateway to the global market. So far, a lot of the outcome, the result from the Hardware Cup. So far, more than 100 the startup company applied this the Monozukuri Hardware Cup, and several companies have the exit, and the QD Laser winner of the 2017. The last year, so they went to the public the market, and the winner of the 2018 the Toretta that was merged by the Maida Fund. Anyway, there's so many the result, the outcome that has happened. And the last, so I want to appreciate the sponsor company, the Kyoto Research Park, and the main sponsor, this Hardware Cup, and the Kyoto Shinyo Kinko, the Sony Startup Acceleration Program, Kyoto Shisakunet, and the Monozukuri Nihon Kaigi. Anyway, and we cannot organize this event if they supporting this event. Anyway, and so please enjoy today the Hardware Cup and go global. And we want to give us the opportunity for all the startup company. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So now I'll explain today's contest and the rules. This is a pitch contest for hardware startups. Each startup has 4 minutes to make the pitches. After that, judges have a Q&A time for 5 minutes. We will ring a bell 1 minute before timeout. And when the time is over, we will ring the bell again. When speaker hears the second bell, please stop your speech. Now, today we have 5 special judges. The main judge is Allen Miner, the CEO, Sunbridge Group. Allen, could you help to introduce yourself?
I'm tempted to say Ohayou gozaimasu and do my introduction in Japanese. But one of the things I've been most impressed with and proud of in watching Makino-san's personal growth over the years is that even he makes his remarks at this event each year in English. And his global team, his efforts as an individual to globalize himself, not just the startups that he works with, has always impressed me. I can't believe it's already the 6th year. It seems like just yesterday that Makino-san and I were sitting in the Sunbridge office talking about the extraordinary expansion of the global makers movement, and Tech Shop in California was just getting started, and we took some people from Japan there and said, we really ought to do something like this. If it's in Japan, it should be in Osaka, Kojo area, or in Kyoto. It shouldn't be in Tokyo. It should be in Osaka. And I like to dream big. I like to talk a lot. Makino-san gets things done. And I guess it's probably been 8 or 9 years since we had that conversation. I am so impressed with the continued engagement of the Kyoto community, of Makino-san's leadership and his excellent team of volunteers and professional full-time staff who keep building bridges between the maker community, the IoT startup community in the United States and Japan, and bridging the startup community to the incredibly talented group of Monozukuri companies and suppliers and partners. The ecosystem, the Monozukuri ecosystem in Kyoto is probably the best in the world, certainly among the best in the world. And so I'm proud to be the chairman of this again each year. I always notice that the startups get better and better every year. I'm expecting some great presentations today. And I just want to congratulate Makino-san and the team for your continued efforts and your continued growth and impact. And I can't wait for today, and I'm looking forward to coming back next year as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next judge is Cyril Eversweider, General Partner, SOSV, and Managing Director, Hacks. Cyril-san. Thank you. Would you introduce by yourself? Thank you.
So my name is Cyril. I'm a general partner at a firm called SOSV, and I'm also the founder of Hacks. I've been investing in hardware startups for more than 10 years and know the good, the bad, and the ugly in startups as diverse as Formlabs, Particle, OpenTrans, MakeBlock. We have built a firm now that has more than $1 billion under asset management, and we've invested in Japan throughout the year, and so I'm glad to see all the efforts that are being taken by Monozukuri Ventures and others to inspire a new generation of hardware startups. So thanks for having me here today.
Thank you very much. Next judge is Ilana Diamond, founder of Hardware Cup and the managing director for One2 Venture Fund. Ilana-san.
Thank you for having me here tonight. It's really especially exciting for me because about 12 years ago, we founded the Hardware Cup as a small regional competition. And I remember meeting Nob from Monozukuri Ventures and getting excited about bringing the Hardware Cup to Japan. I remember the first Japanese Hardware Cup, and it's a little bit like having one of your, children grow up and leave home. Now there are Hardware Cups all over the world, and it's very exciting for me. I am currently the managing partner of 412 Venture Fund. We are an early stage investor in hardware and software machine learning AI type companies. And I'm very excited to be here tonight judging and excited to be partnering with Monozukuri on yet another great program. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining from US. So next judge is Norio Murakami, a former CEO of Google Japan. Norio-san. Could you introduce yourselves? Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Norio Murakami, and I'm very honored to be judge again this year for this very important cup. The reason I said it's important, because the people are focusing on mainly software, and it's okay. However, still the hardware is a very important portion of the universe. The reason I said the universe is, of course, people were excited about the metaverse recently. However, still our physical existence is stuck in this universe, and the universe is physical, and the things to support anyway for metaverse itself, the hardware is very important. And with that reason, I'm looking forward to listening and getting some 7 the presenters pitch to provide us some great future of this universe and the metaverse together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining again. And the last judge is Paul Yonamine, Executive Chairman, Central Pacific Bank.
Great, thank you. And once again, it's great to be a judge on this great event. This is my second time. I really enjoyed it last year. So I currently am chairman and CEO of Central Pacific Bank, but in the past, I'm actually born and raised in Japan. And, while in Japan, I used to head up IBM in Japan. And I also founded KPMG Consulting and Hitachi Consulting. And, all the services and software, as Murakami-san just touched on earlier, it really comes to bear when you have a lot of great hardware. So I'm really looking forward to hearing more and learning more and try to contribute back as a judge today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So now we move to the pitch session. First speaker is FMED CO Ltd. CEO Keita Shimomura. Please come in front of the stage.
Should I take off my mask or? Can I start in time? Okay. Okay. Hello, my name is Keita, CEO and co-founder of FMED. Let me start my presentation. FMED was established in 2021. It was based on the development project of Susumu in Kyushu University Hospital. We decided to establish a company to continue the development and commercialize it. Then, what is microsurgery? It is a surgical technique to connect small human vessels. At the surgery, surgeon magnifies the surgical field with microscope and stitch and tie by hands. It requires very naive tool manipulation. Microsurgery can be used in many types of surgery, but today I pick up breast cancer and lymphoedema to explain the detail. Then what is lymphoedema? It is a side effect of cancer surgery in the course of cancer tissue resection. Sometimes it is unavoidable to resect lymph duct together, and it will cause the swelling. It is the lymphoedema. To mitigate the lymphoedema, not only the swelling, but the patient will suffer the pain and recurrent fever once it is worsened. To mitigate the symptom, it is lymphovenous anastomosis, which requires microsurgery, is taken as a good option. We can estimate that there are about 200,000 lymphoedema patients in Japan, and in the world, a clinical paper describes that there are about 250 million patients. But in Japan, LVA is done only about 5,000 cases. It covers only less than 3% of the patient population. This tendency is similar or less in the world because it is technically demanding and only the limited surgeon can perform it. Let me show you the example. I hope you can see the hand tremor. So it is the movie of the middle experienced surgeon. You can find how the small manipulation is difficult for human being. We wanted to improve this issue with a robotic system which precisely replicates the surgeon's manipulation with eliminating the hand tremor and providing motion scale down. We wanted to increase the number of the microsurgeon and also increase the number of the patients who will be treated by microsurgery. This is the overview of our system. An operating surgeon manipulates the controller on front of the display, and robotic system replicated to perform the microsurgery, and it equips with the high resolution. It's, I think the connection is down. Network connection is down now. So I can show my slide. It's
a Wi-Fi program.
Yes.
Hello, audience. Please wait a little bit. We check to the connection.
もう一回やった方がいいですか？
途中からでも大丈夫です。
大丈夫です。大丈夫です。まあ、最初からやるなら最初からでもいいですけど、途中からでもいいですけど。ちょっと Wi-Fi がちょっとダウンしちゃってるんで。いや、失敗しちゃうんです。あ、できた。はい。あ、それはそっちですね。あ、ちょっと待ってください。ごめんなさい。どうやって。あ、もう一回直しか。リンクが。Now I could connect it. Then may I start again? Yes.
Is ready?
Just a moment, please. Yes, now it's
Okay,
ready.
yeah, now we start the
Yes.
time again.
Let me show you our system overview. Operating surgeon manipulates the controller on front of the display, and the robotic system replicates it to perform the microsurgery. We estimate that the total addressable market is about 25 billion. It is based on the number of the surgical beds in Japan, in the world. And the entry point, our target segment at the first is general hospitals in Japan, which has the general anesthesia capability, and it's about 2.8 billion. Not only the patient, but also the user hospitals have the benefit with the robotic system. It will probably contributes to the increase of the surgical cases and also the patient marketing. There are competitors in the world, but they still have the space to be improved. As you see, the operating surgeon must be docked to the robotic system, and it means that there's a limitation of the setting and body part indication. But our system is separated into the operating console and the robotic system. It means that we have the flexibility on the setting, and it can be used in many types of surgery. And it has a possibility in future to be used in the remote condition. We are developing this prototype and targeting the launch in 2025. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. So now for the Q&A session. Judges, please ask your questions.
This is Norio Murakami. Thank you for your excellent presentation. I have one question. The purpose of your development is to surgical operation remotely or to improve the performance of surgeon operation. Which is the purpose of this robotics, as you mentioned?
Thank you for your question. Our first target is to improve the skill of the surgeon to perform the microsurgery, because there's a technical issue on the surgical microsurgery, and with the support of the robotic system, we want to increase the number of the robot surgeons who can perform the microsurgery. And we know that there are demand from the market to perform the remote surgery, because the operating surgeon is very limited. So this is the second target of our system, of the robotic system. So firstly, we will develop the precise robotic system, and second, we want to put the system into the remote condition.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Alana Diamond. I have a question.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit, is there any intellectual property that you have to
Yes.
protect
Yes.
your system? And if so, can you describe it at a high level to me?
Thank you for that question. So now we have the patent on the manipulator, one patent on the manipulator. And also we are now we have applied 2 defensive patents. So in total, we have 1 patent and 2 additional ongoing patents.
Thank you.
Hey, this is a question from Cyril. Congratulations on getting into an extremely ambitious venture, and perhaps one of the most difficult and impactful, I think, working in hospitals and robots. As I'm sure you're familiar with Oris, and sort of their path was to raise about $1 billion in order to get to $1 billion exit plus earnouts, and it's been a bit long journey and circumvented. I'm curious about how do you see the future of the company in terms of timelines and fundraise.
Thank you for your question. So our current target is to raise the fund for the prototyping, and we need another total about 600,000 Japanese yen to launch the product. So we need to take 2 rounds to raise our money. After that, in 2025, we are targeting to launch the product. We are targeting to acquire the medical device approval in 2025, and we can use that milestone to raise additional capital to start up the commercialization and manufacture the commercial products, and also the marketing the global. So in total, I guess our plan requires 1 billion Japanese yen to launch the product. Did I answer to your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Paul Yanamine. Have you considered other non-medical applications with your technology? Do you see your potential market opportunity larger than what you showed?
Thank you for your question. Actually, I considered only about the medical device market, but I can expect that we can use the system in, for example, in the space to manipulate the tools to repair the space station, or can be used in the medical medicine factory to pick up and sort the product. But honestly, in the detail, for the detail, I only studied about the medical market, and it's our target.
That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Next speaker is Tokyo Robotics Inc. CEO Yoshihiro Sakamoto.
By the way, my
Like upside down. Are you right?
So please wait a minute. I don't know why suddenly the video. Oh, how should I do this?
Well,
this is my first time. This kind of.
Sure. In this case, I think you will skip and then next time.
Yeah. No problem.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Now it's perfect. So, are you ready?
So I changed the background. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes. Please share your screen.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Can you see?
So, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Please start your speech.
Okay, my name is Yoshihiro Sakamoto. I'm a co-founder and the CEO of Tokyo Robotics. Today I will introduce our new product, mobile gripper. So as you know, palletizing and depalletizing tasks, in other words, placing and removing boxes to and from pallets are common in warehouses and factories. But the problem is it's too hard for human workers. And it may cause back pain and work injuries, and eventually it could lead to high turnover rate and recruiting difficulties. One alternative is a robot called palletizer, but it's too large and heavy to install small and medium-sized warehouses and factories. To solve this problem, we propose mobile gripper, the world's only robot that combines a gripper, a mobile base, and a lift. As shown in this figure, just like a human worker, it can pick up a box and carry it and place it on a conveyor belt and vice versa. It can be used in a narrow space and installed by end user easily without any expertise, and it's easy to change the installation. As a business model, we will provide mobile gripper as a package, including hardware, software, and support and maintenance services as a subscription model at the price of $25,000 a year. And compared to human worker, it can reduce the costs by 30 to 50%. Therefore, it is cost effective. And as for the progress, we have finished making the hardware and we are now implementing an application software. And this video shows an example of fully autonomous palletizing. And we have already applied for 5 patents, and we are planning. Yeah, actually, yesterday we applied for 2 patents, and yeah, just yesterday. And we are planning to apply for 5 to 10 patents within a year. As for the competitors, as far as I know, there is a robot called Stretch from Boston Dynamics. It's a mobile manipulator having a suction cup on top of the arm, and it sucks up a box like this, and from above. And I think it's a little faster than our robot, but probably it has the it can only handle light and closed top boxes. On the other hand, our mobile gripper can handle open top boxes like this and heavy objects like an ingot. And probably the segments, target segments are a little different, and we can avoid the competition, direct competition. The market size is quite large. The world palletizer market in 2026 is predicted to be $3.27 billion US. And Japan's market makes up 1/10 of it. And we want to get 20% of the share of the Japanese market, which means $65 million US. And as for the team working on this project, we have specialists in each field related to robotics, and we have ability to make this kind of robot. And also in business side, I have 15-year business experience. So therefore, I believe we can make this project successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So now Q&A time. Judges, please start.
This is Murakami. What is the reason why you choose a subscription model instead of I should say selling model? Or
Okay.
That is the first question. And the second question is your estimation of Japanese market size is 1/10 of US.
Yes.
Of course, you did some research, but why you think it? Maybe the population-wise, it might be 1/3 or something. But what's the base of your such a decision? The size of the Japanese market is 1/10 of US.
Okay, thank you for questions. So the first one is sorry. First one is what do you ask?
What is the reason of you choose a subscription model?
Okay, yes. So yes, actually we are still thinking about the business model, to be honest. But so there are 3 types of business model. The first one is subscription, and the second one is the selling a package, just direct sell to the customer, and the other one is the sales are only the robot to I don't know the machine engineering companies. So, but if we update the software frequently, probably the subscription model is better. But if we don't need to update the software so frequently, probably the just selling is better. So now we are doing research, and we are doing through making the prototype and interviewing the customers, and also the checking the performance of the robot. So now, actually, to be honest, we are still thinking. But if we do the subscription model, so I show the price range, and also the how to provide the subscription model. And another question, so the market size is just this is my rule of thumb of mine. So I mean, the Japanese market, of course, the population is very small, but the economy is a little bigger. But probably 5% of the GDP of the whole world. But I don't know much about that. But in my calculation, 1/10 is if we do 1/10 of the world market for the Japanese market, I think it's not so wrong. So just my rule of thumb.
Hi, Great presentation, and I like watching your video there. I'm curious, how much customization does the robot need to do different tasks? And if there is some programming or customization that needs to be done, who's going to do it? Are you thinking that you'll do it, or that the customer will do it? And can a customer, easily move it from one task to another?
Yes, we want to make a tool. So tool is very simple and easy, like hammer or a keyboard. So, but of course, the robot is very complicated, and I think so we should make it easier and simpler. So, and if we make it simple, so we provide as a package, and the customer buy the robot and push a button, start button, and move it, automatically move the robot moving, and so do the task. That's the ideal situation. So, did I answer to your question?
I'm curious if, let's say, a customer has
customization. I'm sorry, customization.
Yeah.
So
they have two applications in the same
yes.
warehouse. Can they make the change, or do you have to make the change?
Basically, good way is we customize the robot, but inside our factory, not inside the customer's place, because we don't want to do system integration. Instead, we just sell a simple tool to customer, and customer don't need to customize the robot. So that's the idea. So because for the scalability.
Thank you.
Sakamoto-san, this is Cyril. It's funny because I review startups, from all over the world, and everybody has sort of their version of palletizing. It's interesting because it's one of the very few ventures that has benefited from the rise of e-commerce and therefore warehousing, essentially creating all sorts of solutions in India, in China, in the US, in Canada, like almost every country, in France has one of those at the moment. So we'll see how that pans out. But actually it's part of my question. I have in two folds. Is there something special in Japan that could prevent competitors to come in? So have some sort of moat just because Japan is doing something differently in the world of warehousing, or in something that could fit your robot. And second, obviously, this video here is being accelerated 8 times, which means that your business model will be 8 times less effective than you think in terms of cost saving. How fast do you think you will be able to be on par with a human?
Okay, so the first question is about the Japanese market. So I think the Japanese market is not so special. So this task is common in the world, but we first at least for Japanese market we protect this market because using our patents. I applied for 5 patents, and every year we will apply for the 10 patents if possible. So, but I think that this technology is universal, and if we have a chance, we bring this robot to outside Japan, and so to expand this business globally, because probably the task is the same between the Japan and other countries. And the second question is probably speed. And speed is, of course, we recognize that it's a big matter. So, but this is of course, 8 times faster than the usual real time. So, but I think we want the robot to make the faster at least 70% of the human worker. And I think it's the breaking point probably 70% of the human workers, because the cost we will reduce the cost of 30% to 50% of the human worker. So compared to human worker, so I think that our goal is 70% of the speed. But one of our customers told us that sometimes speed is not matter, because even the human worker
Q&A session is over. Please make short answer. Thank you.
Not allowed to to move fast in the factory. So Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. You,
I have to
Aaron, you
get in-
want to?
yeah, I have to get in
Sure,
one question.
please, last one.
What do you think is the size of the factory or warehouse that will actually be attracted by your specific configuration? I can't imagine Amazon deploying hundreds of these in an Amazon warehouse.
Yes.
I can't imagine a small factory that builds a very small number of products, very tiny factory. But I think you're focusing on a very specific size of factory or warehousing center. Your cost performance size, it's kind of like introducing the PC in the world of mainframes and mini computers. There's a certain segment that I think might be really attractive. And I'm curious, what's your analysis of the smallest size and the largest size that you think will find your product more attractive than your competitors?
So I interviewed 10 companies already until now. So the good companies are like have warehouses having 100 people, 100 workers inside the factory. So not so big, but probably it's a medium. So this is a medium-sized warehouses. It's our target, and also the factories is also our target, because the factories are the palletizing is not the main work, but they need the palletizing. So yeah, we want to apply this robot only also for the factories.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. So next speaker is Junri Lee, CEO of Elso Ltd. Please come here. When you are ready, please start.
Okay. So hello, I am Junri Lee from Elso Japan. We are developing special tunable lens and eyeglasses for your lifetime eye health. So Japan has a #1 super aging society and more than 70 million presbyope. That means far-sighted people are living. So the 2/3 of presbyopes in Japan have many eyeglasses, and they should change them depending on their activities, such as sports and driving and desk work. So more importantly, presbyopes in dangerous situation are there, and the varifocal glasses with large addition diopter causes such distorted and blurred field of vision. So regardless of ages, many people are suffering from so many different eye diseases. And now is the time in the exhausted society, we should take measures on it. So to address that concern, we formulated this tunable eyeglasses we call Elso Glasses. And this key technology is Fresnel type liquid crystal lens developed in Osaka University. These unique features are widest visual field and eye grade with very thin structure of the lens. Sorry. So we will produce the world's first autofocal glasses with our lens. So 2022 version works with manual focal system. First, you need to register your eye grades, and then you can switch the eye grade according to your need. So we will developing autofocus system with eye sensing AI for Osaka Banpak in 2025. So this is the movie of eyesight of press by op with our Elso lens. And the focus is changing from near to far. So there definitely exists the unmet needs in this market. So narrowed and distorted field of vision and mismatched eye grades. We offer the widest field of vision and the continuous tunability. So in the future, you don't need to change your lens no more, but you can, the lens can change automatically depending on your condition. So we start with manual focus tunable eyeglasses. Then in the next step, our autofocus system leads to the medical devices for for eradication of eye diseases and even for the early detection of lifestyle related diseases. So we started the development of our tunable lens for patients suffering from amblyopia in 2016 at Osaka University. So we are now raising fund for selling our product, first batch of our product. Thank you very much for kind listening.
Thank you very much. Now for the Q&A time. Judges, please ask your questions.
All right, this is Paul Yonamine. Let me go first. I mean, as an individual who always has to use bifocals, I mean, I think this is a very attractive idea, but I would have to think that there's a lot of legal and regulatory hurdles to take it to market. But do you see opportunities to accelerate that? I mean, especially in the United States, where you need a lot of prescriptions, especially for lenses and so forth. Do you anticipate a lot of challenges in really taking this to market?
Sorry. Your question is how to deal with the regulations in United States?
No, just basically even in Japan. Do you
okay.
anticipate a lot of legal and regulatory challenges to take it to market?
Okay. So in Japan, in this first stage of our eyeglass, we don't need to pass the very difficult regulations for selling our product. I mean, it should be clarified to the first class of medical device. So we can submit some documents for the government, I mean PMDA in Japan, and we can sell the product.
Very good. Okay. I can't wait to buy one in Japan then. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
This is Murakami. I have one question. You mentioned you are improving the product with some autofocus feature supported by artificial intelligence technology.
Yes.
Would you please briefly describe how you can identify the user, the sight line? I don't know, this is good English expression or not, but how you can recognize what the user is seeing. Maybe I will move a little bit toward. So would you please briefly describe how to do that.
Okay. So now we are developing our original focus tunable system at Osaka University. I mean, by the collaboration with Osaka University, and the system will be the sensing of eye movement. I cannot say it in detail today, but it should be combination of 2 or 3 technologies to sense the eye movement.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
I guess I'll ask a question. I'm also an eyeglass wearer, and there used to be something in the United States called superfocals, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but if you're nodding, so I think maybe you are. And I'm curious, what's the difference? This was also an adjustable focal length glass set of glasses. I'm curious how yours compare if you're familiar with them.
Sorry, your question is difference between
Your
superfocal.
glasses and superfocal. Are you familiar with superfocal?
Superfocal maybe multifocal glasses.
Is that a brand of
It is a
glasses?
brand. That was the
Is
name
it
of it.
available still in the United States?
It isn't. They had a lot of manufacturing problems, but they were very popular with many people that I know. And I'm just curious if it's the same technology and they've improved it, or it's something completely different. And if you don't know, that's fine, if you're not familiar with it. But it's something you should check if you're not familiar. Superfocal.
Okay, superfocal in United States.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, thank you very much.
So I have a question.
Yes.
With the $500,000 that you're planning to raise right now, do you already have a finished prototype that is manually tunable, ready to go to market? And all you need to do is pay for an OEM to manufacture 1,000 sets, and you can manufacture them at $500 each. Is that so? It costs you $500 to manufacture them. You sell them for $1,000, and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes. We prepared the prototype of eyeglasses with wire to connect the battery. And we should our product to wireless version and a little bit improvement of our lens to make higher quality of lens, especially outer side of our lens. So without IC circuit, we can make our product with this cost. Okay.
So time is over. Thank you very much. Next speaker is Sunmetalon Inc. CEO, co-founder Kei Takezawa. When you are ready, please start your pitch.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for the opportunity to introduce Sunmetalon. And we are currently developing completely the new way of metal 3D printing. And we are in seed stage. So we launch our machine next year. So we are working on POC with several Japanese companies right now. So let me jump into the pain points of the current metal 3D printers. There are two big pain points. One is high cost. If you can see this, there's a internal cooling channel inside the product, and it costs $2,000 a part. If you don't need the internal channel, you don't need to use metal 3D printer. It costs about $60. Why this is so expensive? We break down into two parts. One is machine depreciation. So machine speed is very slow. So they can produce only less than one part a day. And also they use only special powder for metal 3D printers. So at the end of the day, it costs $2,000 a part. But some Metaron, we have high throughput. So we produce 250 parts a day, and we can utilize standard powder. At the end of the day, we cost about $100 a part. So we reduce the cost by 90%. And another pain point is that the current metal 3D printer is low capability. So they can create a new shape, but that's it. We have more features on top of that. One is multi-materials. So we use two different metal. So we print them together. And the second is the recycle. This is chips of cutting waste from a manufacturing process. So we can recycle manufacturing waste directly into metal parts. And this is a project with the auto company, and this is very breakthrough. And founders, we are a great team. 3 engineers from Nippon Steel, 2 PhD candidates. I am a business side from McKinsey. And we have leading advisors as well. Left side, 3 professors from the University Laboratory of Co-Founders. They're very supportive. And the right side, we have industrial advisors. 2 of them are former executives of our competitors, and they're very excited in our technology. And so this is the concept of our solution. So the competitors do the laser or binder, but we do the layer by layer heating technology. And this is 100% IP to us. And this is very busy chart, but showing the market segments we are playing. So blue parts and gray ones are competitors are playing this part, but we are creating a new market with high capability and low cost, the bottom left side. So we already, we start from this unique segment that some Metaron can only print. And we already found a lot of application with several companies. And after that, we expand our market into all segments, and TAM is $210 billion. And I skip use cases. And so we are a hardware startup, but we have a recurring revenues as well. So we sell machine 800K upfront, but we have a recurring revenue with consumables and solution, which is software and maintenance. So machine lasts 10 years. So 10-year lifetime per machine is revenue is 5.4 million with high gross profit. So our sales is not a one-shot upfront. So finally, the payback period for machine investment for customer is 1.5 years. And it's very short. And this is actually from the real calculation with our customers. So I think that's it. 4 minutes is too short, but if you are interested, please let us know. We can, discuss. Yeah, thank you.
I want to start this time. So do you imagine that your price point per object created, per cubic meters of volume of object created, makes it possible for your device to be used to actually manufacture finished products rather than just prototyping and R&D, which is where most of the 3D printing, including metal 3D printing, is used today? And what kinds of end products do you envision actually being made this way versus still remaining with traditional manufacturing? So what part of finished metal product manufacturing do you think will end up on this kind of device?
Well, thank you very much. I think it's a good question. So directly answer to your question, we are aiming the final product parts in the future, but a starting point is not the final products because of the required parts quality. It's very high. And currently this blue one is focusing on prototype and also even like mass production, but they are laser. So they focus on aerospace or medical, which they don't care about the cost, right? But the gray one, desktop metal, they call AM for mass production. And we starting from the bottom left side, it's a mass production, but it's like part of a manufacturing process because we are not 100% confident about that. So, but we eventually we expand our business to final products.
This is Cyril. Just a quick question. I'm not sure we've seen a part somewhere, or maybe it was in the appendixes. But do you have a picture of a part that was coming out?
Yes. You mean the application, right?
No, just a picture, like a reality picture of a part that was coming out of the machine today.
We didn't put that real part picture yet, but we have a 3D CAD picture here. We have a currently prototype machine. We don't have a part picture on this presentation, but next time I will put part picture. But these applications currently we are getting from the customers. Some other applications as well, but I cannot put it here because of NDA with our customers.
Yeah. Thank you.
Judges, do you have more questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, sure.
You didn't mention whether you're actively raising capital right now.
Yes, we are currently raising pre-series A, about $5 million in May. And we are currently fundraised from UTech, University of Tokyo, and IDEO D4V Ventures and University of California, Berkeley, Skydeck. But we want a US VC because we think this technology is for global. And the main market is in the US and Germany. So that's the situation.
Thank you very much. So now we'll take a 5-minute break. We will restart 11:08. 11:08 we will start. Everybody, see you soon. Welcome back, Monozukuri Hardware Cup 2022. Next speaker is Naoki Nunoya, Sales Director of LG Lab CO Ltd. When you are okay, please start.
Can I start again? Can I start? Hi. Oh, my video stopped. Okay. Hi, my name is Naoki from AJL. I'm a sales director. And this is our latest product, Air-Range Quad. It can fly 120 minutes. It's so long, isn't it? Our CEO is Shinichi Tani. He is a dentist, and he built an original drone by himself 12 years ago. It is considered as the first Japanese drone. This is our origin. Why we built a hybrid drone? The answer is so simple. We needed a drone what it can fly for a long time. Available flight time of the battery drone is too short, especially for business use. Our founder Shinichi Tani is also an experienced drone pilot, and he has a lot of experience about border by the battery drone trouble. And so he always says it doesn't make sense if drone can't fly for a long time. He thought drone is not available with around 20 minutes flight time, especially business use, as I said. We should change battery many times. So it means you have to land many times when you fly a drone. Even now, most of battery drone users are bothering about the battery troubles. We want to solve the problem and to make a drone a saver of a social problem is our mission. A hybrid drone is the best answer that we can available and possible now. This is the background that he came up with the concept of a hybrid drone. The power source of our hybrid drone is composed with the engine. And this is the generator and the supply the electric power to fly. And it can fly with the gasoline, but we already achieved with the experiment with the biofuel. This is a good topic for the matter of CO2 free. And the body is completely different with others. Most of drones are made by the plastics and considered as the disposal when it's broken. But ours are made by the rich carbon fiber, living with the racing car. And it's so strong and lightweight and little expensive. Also, this is designed assuming the damaging part when it falls, like a bumper of a car. You will hit the bumper first when you crash your car. Our drone will hit the top of the arm here, will hit when it falls. At the breaking point where I point in will save the central part of this when it falls. This is easy to fix and replace easily as car maintenance. It's sustainable that you can fix easily and continue to use like car or motorcycle for years. And this is a view from our drone when the experiment case in Okayama Prefecture. The distance of the course was the 10 kilometer, round trip 20 kilometer. And we already achieved about 4 years ago. You can inspect something from your home or deliver something from your home with our hybrid drone like this view.
The future of drone will, like science fiction, will be realized with our hybrid drone. Thank you for listening.
It sounds like your key innovation was a fuel cell generator instead of a battery, and a lighter weight, more durable carbon fiber body. And that the combination of those two is what allows you to carry the heavy payload for 2 hours. What prevents DJI or whoever company A is from designing a product with the same specification and achieving the same performance to capture the market that you're trying to capture? How do you survive against and market entry with a similar product, same features from a major competitor?
The engine drone engine has happened vibration, and so this is the effect for the flight controller or some sensors. So our founder said when release the first hybrid drone, I think some company will follow soon, but there's no company following now. That reason is why is one of the reason is absorb the vibration. So this is so effective for the flight controller. So another company can't do that. I think so that.
Okay, Cicero, so you are on the market at the moment, or you are targeting specific industries, or like will it be consumer, or what do you have in mind?
I think the one is inspection section, and one about infrastructure, the huge infrastructure in overseas. So everybody use many times to inspect or big infrastructure, but if you use our hybrid drone, you can go over the, if you in urban area, and to the construction place is a local area, so you can fly from home and to go to the far away and inspect everything and come back to the home. So most of the battery drone will, we have to bring it itself to the place where you will have to inspect something, but our drone, you can fly itself to the place where want to inspect. That is very different. So now we can't fly the non-visual area because of restricted in Japan. But in this year, the restrict will released. So this is a chance of our company or our hybrid drone.
This is Murakami. You called your product hybrid.
Yes.
Usually the word is used for hybrid automobile. Then your mechanism of drone use the rotation, directly from engine, if I can say so. And also electric motor. So the rotation you can provide to the propeller is driven with those two, the source of power.
Yes, little different, but engine is just a battery generator, and also we have assistive battery, but it's smaller than other battery drones. So when engine stopped or having a low power, the battery will assist the power to fly or continue to fly or something. So this we call that is why we call it a hybrid.
The engine also provide the charging on for battery.
No charging, just using the power.
Only the battery is during flying discharging.
Yes.
Okay.
that is only to supply to the motors,
Electricity.
so
Okay.
flying to cycling, driving the propeller or something.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is everybody okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Next speaker is Shinji Abe, CEO and the founder of PowerWave CO Ltd.
Now I share my screen. Okay, thank you for calling me. I am Shinji Abe, co-founder and the CEO of this company, PowerWave Inc. We wirelessly lead electric mobility to the future. The world is facing to the problem. It is the CO2 emission. This graph shows the CO2 emission in Japan. In detail, the vehicles emits 200 billion kilograms per year. So that the world is challenging to make EV shift because EV has some benefit, no air pollution, small noise, and also its economy because of its simple architecture, but it has problem on battery charging. The battery has the trade-off on capacity, weight, and price. And there is some solution. The high-speed charging wired station, and there is some problem on charging time and cost. Driving range depends on battery. And there is some research and develop on wireless charging station, but it can make only this operators one. It becomes automatic, but just here, it might be only comfortable. Then what we make is powering in motion. We make the powering system in motion, and the long range driving with powering in motion, and the short range is drive with battery. It makes zero charging time and a low cost and long driving range. Our product is this hardware, the system of the transmitting one and the receiving one. And there is a common system on the RF is radio frequency, high frequency power source, and radio frequency to direct current converter. It is common thing. So we fabricate and sell ourselves. And transmitting electrode and the receiving electrode depends on the vehicle or facility. So we design and collaborate with company, and a collaborative company installs it. And go-to-market strategy. Our final target is extremely large. So we divide two stages. The first stage is spatial area and spatial mobility. And we focus on the factories AGV, the automated guided vehicle, because it's work in 24 hours. And this market size is $200 million, and we can get $40 million per year. And the second stage, we will put the 4,000 kilometers of this electrified roadway, and it costs $600 billion for infrastructure. Then we sell it for government, and the government can get some benefit per year because the vehicle oil imports decrease because of vehicle don't consume the oil. So yeah, I think it's over time. Sorry. We have the prototype of this system. So thank you for listening to me.
Until you mentioned that your initial focus is on factory robot recharging while doing tasks in a factory,
yes,
I was not paying attention, because the obvious solution for a major infrastructure electric transportation already exists in Japan, electrified railroads. So the cost of building electrified freeways for individual cars is greater than, and the benefit is less than electrified. However, when you mentioned that your initial target is on recharging robots that are moving around factories, I thought that's potentially quite interesting. And it made me curious if you have potential customers you're talking with right now, specific types of robots that need continuous recharging in factories. And I'd like to hear a little bit more about your understanding of the needs and what you can do in a factory for mobile recharging of mobile robots in factories. で工場の中のユースケースをもう少し具体的にどこまで調べてて、どんなイメージかっていうのが興味あります。
はい。Sorry, I couldn't include this information in this slide, but I already went to the actual factory and the AGV makers, and they say the charging is the most important problem, and we are trying to make the prototype to supply them for, I got 3 companies, and we will try it. Thank you very much.
I'm interested in knowing where you stand exactly with the product. Do you have working prototypes that are working in a factory, or you said airport? Or is this something that you're moving towards now?
Thank you very much. We have the prototype, the proof of concept like this. Here. This is the first prototype of the vehicle powering in motion, which is the supplied power from under the ground. And the battery doesn't have any battery to drive it. So it is approved, but we didn't sell the product yet.
Thank you.
This is Murakami. I may miss the slide. You show some cost competitiveness of just battery carrying way or this way. Do you have any such a slide to explain that?
Sure. So, sorry, I don't have the number of that for your question, but we have the competitor, the conductive power transfer and the inductive power transfer, which is used conventionally. Then they have the problem on the charging area. They can use on stationary, but we can use it in motion. So it is very difficult to compare to conventional one. conventionals.
Thank you.
Cicero, what are your plans for fundraising?
Excuse me?
Sorry, do you plan to raise money? And if so, how much?
Fundraising, it is, we didn't get, we didn't have a raise, but we are trying to search for 570 million yen in this time. And 5 years, after 5 years, we will publish this. Oh, sorry, $5 million.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Next speaker is CSO of Amaterasu Inc., Tasuku Yazaki. Please come in front.
Right. Good morning and good afternoon to whom joining from overseas. Thank you for having us today in this event. Okay. How our company started. Our CEO, Yajima, was deeply shocked by the great earthquake in East Japan and wished if he could help people with his technology to keep people, things, and connected and anywhere all the time. Then he decided to leave Sony and build his own company to realize his wish, build anytime, anywhere available sensing network system. Existing IoT sensing systems have common problems. Power sources are not necessarily available all the time. Commercial networks may not be available. Many devices cannot stand in severe environment, and complex settings may prevent mass installation. To resolve those issues, our engineers developed Tsukumo device and system. That is this small, but integrated with cutting-edge technologies like low power, long-range wireless communication, and solar and vibration-based power energy harvesting system, and illuminance, vibration, and thermal and humidity sensors. Self-powered, keep sensing, send the data far, that is the Tsukumo system. But one size doesn't fit all. So we prepare housing options to ensure durability and installability. And this is one of the examples of pole attachment type housing used in rice paddies and relay transmitters. This is a whole picture of Tsukumo system. We have sensors under the pictures and 2 relay transceivers. Tsukumo device can be configurable to either function by software, and relay transceiver can be cascadable to extend the reachable distance. Smartphone apps are visual, intuitive, minimum necessity for a non-expert, totally ease of use. External sensors are available from amateurs and third parties. And all those sensors today are working on the ground with Tsukumo systems. Tsukumo system is working on various places in collaboration with our partners from museum, rice paddy, fish farm, maintenance hall, dairy farm, animal husbandry, work safety, irrigation canal. those are business partners today. A strategy roadmap starting from solution design with each partner as POC stage, followed by a sell-through of the solution and device through that partner. And we are now here. And next to go to the expand the sales across the industry, then we are looking at the final goal all the time. Comparison in IoT sensing network, actually those two guys are too huge to compete in their business scale, but we have advantages in low power, long range, cascadable network solution and openness at the network system. Total addressable market, in total, that's going to be 24.6 million unit equivalent Tsukumo device and 4,920 oku yen. Teams, sorry, I skipped it. Business projection, we are expecting to over 160 oku yen in 2025. Teams, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm curious, you had a lot of interesting applications. When you think about the first one that you can implement and really scale, which of your applications do you think is has the most potential?
Okay, so actually this is kind of business business matter to think about. And from a business point of view, then we are currently think maintenance hall might be a big potential to us because of the number of the installment of the the infrastructure across the country, and also it's very difficult to approach often to maintain under the ground. So Tsukumo can be very helpful for that area.
Thank you.
Hi, could you please show us that slide where you had your partners, please? It was so fast I didn't have a chance to look at it. I'm very interested to see who you're partnering with.
Sorry, I just closed my computer. So.
You could tell us who they are then.
Yeah, which are you talking about?
You had a page on your partners that you were working with.
All right. All right, so let me read it out. NTT Data, Kajima Construction, and Nikken Lease Industry. And we have top tier energy company and local government, prefecture, and major communication company, which we cannot disclose at this moment.
Okay, thank you.
Which frequency band-wise Tsukumo is using, and what kind of a protocol Tsukumo system is using?
All right, so I think so. First of all, the frequency is a sub-gig. It's the same as LPWA and other systems. And talking about protocol, that's a very good question to understand the strength of Tsukumo. Actually, that is original because everything is kind of trade-off among power and distance and bitrate. But if we try to take a standard protocol, then we need to jeopardize many of them. Then we have to optimize those kind of balance in between by developing our own protocol, which is very suitable to each, what can I say, usage, which I've shown at the page. So that is our technology.
Thank you.
This is a question from Cyril. So I'm a bit confused, or maybe it's because of the Japanese market, but you haven't mentioned LoRaWAN or Sigfox, which doesn't exist anymore. But is there a reason like LoRaWAN is not in Japan?
No. You mean are you asking about whether other standard protocol like a Sigfox and others are strong in Japan or not?
Yeah.
They are okay. So talking about those market, each protocol and each standard are struggling to expand at this moment.
Yeah.
We are one of them. Okay, but all right. As I said, standard may have a common, what can I say, weakness in terms of the balance, trade-off among power, distance, and the bit rate, and whatever. Okay, so that is what I explained about our strengths, even though they are existing.
Yep, got it.
In your sensor transceiver grid network configuration.
I tried to show.
Okay. Yeah. I'm curious, what is the distance bit rate combination that you believe you can achieve in the field? So between the sensor and each hop, how many meters or how many kilometers per hop?
Sorry if I'm a mess. I actually already find out. So let me show this through camera. Could you ask the question again?
Yeah, what is your distance at what bit rate between each hop of the network from the sensor to, for example, a data center?
That's right.
Each,
yeah, he's a CEO.
Yeah.
Could you give me a answer?
What's the distance between each network hop?
100
kilobps over 100
1
meters, 1 kilometer.
1 kilometer over 1 kilometer.
1 kilometer per hop. Okay.
And we can make several hops.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm wondering how many transceivers you need to put out in the real world to cover a certain area. So 1 kilometer per hop, 1 kilobits per second, was it?
100 kilobits.
100 kilobits per second. Okay.
Sorry for the mess. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
So all pitches are done. Thank you very much, all, and everybody, well done. So judges, please move to the breakout room and decide to today's winner.
Do we need to do something or are you moving us?
Yeah, breakout room. Now we are doing, please wait.
Just stay where you are. I need to move and we'll start in just a second. And I think I need to have them take my audio off of the main room or this won't be a private conversation. チーム局大丈夫ですか？まだブロードキャストしてます。
Please wait a bit. Now he's setting the breakout room and he will send an invitation to you. So while judges are deciding, our sponsor, 京都リサーチパーク株式会社、イノベーション創発本部、イノベーションデザイン部長、井上良一様、has speech.
はい、ただいまご紹介に預かりました京都リサーチパークの井上でございます。白熱したピッチ、非常に楽しく見せていただきました。ここからは、少し日本語にはなりますが、京都リサーチパークの説明をさせていただきます。審査、楽しみに待っている中ではあると思うんですが、ぜひ、心安らかに聞いていただけたらと思います。よろしくお願いします。はい、改めまして京都リサーチパークでございます。すでに京都リサーチパークをご存知の方もおいでかと思いますが、改めて私ども何者かということのご説明させていただきます。京都リサーチパークは大阪ガスグループの株式会社組織であります。今日、一緒にこの会を主催をさせていただく立場になりました。ありがとうございます。さて、京都リサーチパークは京都からの新ビジネス、新産業の創出をミッションとして活動しています。今、ここで創発という文字が出ておりますが、スタートアップ企業の方々、それから事業会社の方々、様々なイノベーションを起こそうとする方々に出会いの場、活躍の機会を提供するということを行っております。で、簡単ではございますが、場所、どこにあるのかというところなんですが、京都駅の北西約2キロの丹波口という駅の近くにございます。でそこに、関西でいうと甲子園球場 1.5 個分の広さの敷地の中に18の建物が建ってまして、500の組織、6400名の方が働かれる、イノベーションが生まれる街を運営しています。33年目になりました。始まった時には少ない企業数だったんですが、今、大きい、500組織になっております。で私たちだけではなくてですね、京都にはこういった産業支援機関さんもたくさんおいでですので、公的支援機関さんとご一緒にスタートアップ企業さんの支援を行っています。業種としては、最近、ウェルネス分野、ものづくり分野のに注力をしておりまして、地区内におられる企業の業種はこの分類になります。で、さて、そこで何を行っているかといいますと、さまざまなファシリティを提供しているとともにですね、ものづくり分野、それからライフサイエンス分野を中心に、コンテンツを企画、成長機会、出会いの機会を提供しております。ライフサイエンス分野ですと、グローバル展開を目指す、スタートアップさんの支援、HVC 京都というものをジェトロさん、京都府さん、京都市さんと一緒にさせていただいておりまして、すでに優秀な登壇企業の方々が、110以上、登壇されて、その後、資金調達をされると、基本的にアーリーシードステージの方を支援するようなプログラムを多く提供しております。で一方で、ものづくり分野の方々の支援ということでいきますと、今年度からものづくりプロモーションミートアップというプログラムを始めております。これは何かと言いますとですね、プロダクトを作って、それを世に広めていこうという製品の PR の支援を動画を作ることによってご提供するという仕組みを行っており、ちょうど今年、1月21日にデモデーが終わりましてですね、今、バーチャル展示会を開催しているところでございます。皆様、素晴らしいスペックのものをお作りになられるんですけれども、それを世の中に広めていこうとするときに、やはり今の時代、特にですけれども、動画での説明というのはなかなか欠かせなくなってきておりますので、そういったものを世の中に出すことを前提に、作ろうという支援を行っております。これは引き続き行っていこうと思っておりますので、ぜひご興味ございましたらお声掛けいただきまして、次回エントリーいただけますと幸いです。でそういったライフサイエンス、ものづくり分野のスタートアップ様の支援のほかですね、イノベーションに興味のある方々が集まりやすいイベントであったり、そういった企画を持ち込めるような会場を用意しております。また、会社を作ろうというような部活動を行ったりですね、イノベーティブな方々に活躍の機会を提供しております。京都には大学背景も多くございましてですね、38の大学があり、さまざまな大学との連携も行っておりますし、世界にはリサーチパークと呼ばれるものが約1000個あると言われております。そういった各国のリサーチパークとの提携も行っております。余談ではございますが、民間でリサーチパークを運営しているところというのはほぼなくですね、 例えば海外へ展開される際に、興味のある国のリサーチパークでの登壇機会を提供するというような機会が、ひょっと今後あるかもしれません。そういったことにご興味のあるスタートアップ企業さん、おいででしたら、私どもにお声掛けをいただければ幸いです。ほぼほぼ、多くの国が国営大学運営でリサーチパークをなさっていらっしゃいます。で、こういったことをコンテンツ活動としてやっておりますが、地区内のファシリティとしては研究所、それからオフィス、大小さまざまな会議室を揃えております。京都リサーチパークでイノベーションが起こるという交流の舞台を提供していると思っていただいて結構です。皆様お気軽にお声掛けくださいませ。ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much. Next sponsor is 京都信用金庫常務理事価値創造本部長竹口直樹様 has speech.
はい、ただいま紹介いただきました京都信用金庫の竹口と申します。まずはですね、本日、ものづくりハードウェアカップ2022年、本当に素晴らしいプレゼンお聞かせいただきましてありがとうございました。私どもですね、京都信用金庫の取り組みにつきまして、簡単ではありますけれども、少しだけ今日はご紹介をさせていただきます。京都信用金庫は、来年創立100周年を迎えます地域の信用金庫、金融機関でございます。私たちは日頃ですね、目先の利益だけを追いかけるのではなく、地域に必要とされるコミュニティバンクということを提唱しておりまして、そのことに日々ですね、現場営業店を中心にお客様との対話をしながら営業活動をしておる、そういった金管です。地域から慕われてですね、温かい金融、温かい存在でないといけないということをモットーにしておりまして、それを実行できる、そういった職員の育成、そういった現場重視のですね、取り組みを目指しております。少し画面の方でご紹介をさせていただきます。そういったことを実行していくためにですね、一昨年の11月に京都市の、中心部です。京都の市役所のある斜め向かいに、クエスチョンというビルを開業いたしました。このクエスチョンはですね、社会課題や問い、いわゆる事業者や個人のさまざまなですね、クエスチョンを、みんながですね、ここに集まってくる皆さんがですね、一緒になって解決をしていく、アイデアや知恵を出しながらですね、協業をしていく、そういったまず場作りをですね、このクエスチョンでさせていただいています。1階にカフェ、それと夜は、今コロナでですね、少し止まっておりますけども、夜はお酒も飲めるようなバー施設を整えておりまして、2階、3階はコワーキングのスペース、会員制のコワーキング、4階にはですね、コミュニティステップスという階段型になった、ここでさまざまなセミナーであるとか、ピッチ大会、まさにスタートアップのピッチ大会なんかがこういった場で行われております。5階はですね、スチューデンツラボという場所を設けておりまして、学生、京都には十数万人の学生さんがいらっしゃいますけども、その学生に対してですね、場所を無料で開放しております。自由にですね、学生がここに集まって、学生同士の交流、でまた、学生と社会人の交流、事業者との交流、ここではたくさんのですね、そういった場が創設されるということになっております。6階に京都信用金庫の支店、河原町支店が入っておりまして、あとは7階に大きなコミュニティホール、それと8階はですね、台所という称したキッチンスペースを設けております。ここで スタートアップ、例えば飲食業をスタートアップされる方なんかが、テストですね、トライアルをする場として使われたりですね、企業の、コミュニケーションを図る場、いわゆる企業が、経営者や、社員の皆さんとですね、一緒にここで、料理を作って、またみんなで一緒に食べるみたいな、そういう場がですね、温かい場にとしてですね、ご利用をいただいております。ぜひね、京都の河原町の御池市役所の斜め向かいですけどもね、一度お越しいただけたらいいなというふうに思っております。はい。私どもは、約10年前からですね、この起業家を応援していこうということで、地域の起業家アワードというものを、毎年行っております。大体年間ですね、百数十社の申し込みをいただきまして、その中から、10社、優秀賞ということで選出をさせていただきました。さらにその中から1社最優秀賞を選んでおります。今年度も3月に、第9回ということで開催を予定をしております。はい。最後にですね、私どもの、少し、支援の、新たに取り組んでいること、共振イノベーション2号ファンドという、従来ですね、フューチャーベンチャーキャピタルとですね、を GP としたファンドをまずスタートさせまして、1号ファンドですね、5億円という少額ではあるんですけども、1社あたり、大体500万から3000万ぐらいまでの間でですね、多数の、企業、スタートアップにご支援をさせていただきました。で、今回のこの2号ファンドはですね、私ども京都信用金庫が GP として、自分たちで新たな取り組みとしてスタートをさせております。2021年の昨年の9月にスタートしておりまして、今まさに多くのですね、この京都で起業をなされる、スタートアップされるベンチャーの方のご相談を受けているところでございます。投資対象として地域の活性化をやはりのためにですね、イノベーティブに取り組んでいる企業、また、社会課題解決に対してですね、真剣に取り組まれているような、そういったゾーンのセクターの起業家も実は多数、この2号ファンドの申し込みを受けているところでございます。そういった地域のですね、必要なファンドとして、個性、特性を持ちながらですね、このファンドを京都でしっかりと取り組んでいきたいというふうに考えているところでございます。はい、ちょっと短い時間なので、なかなかご理解いただけたかどうかあれですけども、ぜひクエスチョンですね、河原町御池のクエスチョンに、もし京都来られたときはね、来ていただけたらというふうに考えております。はい、以上でございます。ご視聴ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much. Next sponsor is ソニーグループ株式会社スタートアップアクセラレーション部門オープンイノベーション&コラボレーション部ビジネスデザインチームビジネスデザイナー小沢信夫様。Please start speech.
はい。では資料を共有させていただきます。はい、今、資料を見えていらっしゃいますでしょうか。
見えております。
はい。ご紹介いただきましてありがとうございました。改めまして、ソニーグループ株式会社の小沢信夫です。よろしくお願いいたします。本日は私から、SSAP、我々のプログラムの、概要説明、あとサービスメニュー、SSAP の特徴、この3点に関して、触れさせていただきたいと思っております。前段ですけれども、これまでですね、早朝から非常に熱のこもったピッチを楽しませていただきまして、誠にありがとうございました。はい、この後の結果も楽しみにしております。はい、じゃあその前にお時間をいただきまして、SSAP の、概要説明に入らせていただきます。はい、ソニースタートアップアクセラレーションプログラム、略してですね、我々 SSAP と呼んでおりますが、SSAP はあらゆる人に、起業の機会を 提供すべく、日々、新規事業の、事業開発を、ご支援させていただいているプログラムとなっております。もともとは2014年にソニーの社内の活動として始まったサービスでありまして、2018年からはそれまでの知見ですとか経験をベースにソニーの外の社外のお客様に対するご支援を提供させていただいているというサービスになっております。はい。こちらのですね、スライドですけれども、SSAP の活動サマリーとなります。SSAP を一言で申し上げますと、お客様のアイデアや技術を最短距離で社会実装に導くというサービス展開をさせていただいております。この最短距離でというところがキーワードでして、新規事業開発はどうしてもですね、リソースですとか、ノウハウで十分でないという状況、現実があるかと思います。その現実に対してですね、SSAP は我々のアセットですとかソリューション、リソースを提供させていただくことによって、お客様のアイデアや技術を最短距離で社会実装に導くというお手伝いをさせていただいております。はい。続きまして、このチャートですけれども、我々の事業化実績でございます。これまで18の事業を世に出してきたという状況です。我々、ソニーですのでですね、お客様からは、やっぱりB2C 系のハードウェアソリューションが多いのではというようなお問い合わせをいただくこともあるんですけれども、実際はそうではなくて、B2B 向けのソリューションサービスですとか、アプリケーションの展開です、なども含めましてですね、非常に幅広い新規事業開発をご支援させていただいているという状況です。はい。続きまして、こちらがですね、社外のお客様に向けたサービス提供実績になっております。非常にありがたいことに、これまでですね、150以上のサービス提供実績がございます。大企業様、またベンチャー、ですね、非常にサイズもですね、様々な企業をご支援させていただいております。また、ちょっと面白い視点ですと、国連などのですね、国際機関ですとか、あと様々な教育機関に対しても、新規事業開発のご支援を展開させていただいているという状況でございます。はい、続きましてですね、時間も限られておりますが、2点だけ、我々の、サービスメニューをご紹介させていただきます。SSAP の支援サービスですけれども、大きく分けまして、事業育成支援と組織開発支援の2点ございます。それぞれに関して簡単に触れさせていただきます。はい。まず一つ目の事業育成支援ですけれども、こちらはですね、今まさに新規事業を推進されている方向けのサービス展開になっております。この右側にございますのがカリキュラムの概要ですけれども、1番のアイデア創出から始まって、一番最後、10番、事業化を目指すというサービス展開になっております。もちろん、この1からですね、10まで、一連のご支援をさせていただくということもできますけれども、お客様の課題に応じて、ピンポイントなご支援というのもさせていただいております。はい。続きまして、組織開発支援の概要になります。こちらはですね、新規事業組織を運営されている方向けのサービス内容になっております。カリキュラムのいくつか、例をご紹介いたしますと、事務局運営のための必要なスキルの習得でしたりですとか、ステージゲートシステムの導入、事業アイデア、評価体系の検討などがカリキュラムの一部になっております。最後のページになりました。最後ですが、SSAP の特徴を3点触れさせていただければと思います。世の中ですね、非常に多数のコンサルティング会社ですとか、アクセラレーターの存在がありますけれども、SSAP のユニークなポイント3点でございます。まず1点目が、SSAP は現役の事業会社、ソニーグループコーポレーションが作る新規事業の専用プログラムであるということ。もう一点が、大企業の中で新規事業を生むことの大変さを自らが経験したプロデューサーによる支援であるということ。3番目ですけども、これはユニークの中でも本当にユニークですけども、一過性のですね、ご支援ではなく、結合を促すオープンイノベーションを推進する視点でご支援させていただくという、この3点でございます。これらはですね、他の他社にはなかなかない、本当にSSAP の特徴、ユニークな特徴になっておりますので、ぜひともですね、興味を持っていただいた方は、ソニースタートアップアクセラレーションプログラム SSAP にお問い合わせいただければと思っております。 はい、私からは以上です。本日はお時間いただきましてありがとうございました。
Thank you very much. At the end, 京都施策ネット代表理事、佐々木智和様、has a speech.
皆さん、こんにちは。皆さんのお話聞かせていただきまして、本当にありがとうございました。我々も施策ネットとしてですね、社会実装に向けて皆さんと何か一緒にできたらなというふうに思っている次第でございます。では少しご説明させていただきます。京都施策ネットはですね、もうできて20年になるんですけれども、ものづくりの施策から始まりましてですね、今後ですね、今もそうなんですけども、施策プロセス、体験、その施策をされるときにですね、いろいろと頼むのにいろんなところを探したり、そういう煩わしさみたいなこともですね、施策のプロセスにあると思います。そういったことの中で良い体験をしていただく、そして今後はですね、やはり一緒にお客様と共にですね、価値提供を社会にしていきたいなと。そしてお客様の価値を演出したいなというふうに思って、今、全部で36社なんですけれどもね、一緒に活動しております。具体的には、こういった形で金属系の加工をされているところとですね、あとは電気装置、そして異素材でゴムとか樹脂、マイコンソフトというようなところまで施策の領域を広げてですね、これからもあらゆる施策に対応できるようなですね、引き出しを増やしていきたいというふうに思っています。施策事業に関しましては、金属から樹脂、といった部品関係ですね、そういったものをですね、一品からでも十分に施策のバリエーションを持っていただけるような、そういう取り組み、生産技術の確立、そういったことをしております。こういった装置関係もですね、手掛けてお客様と共にですね、試作、そして一品物の完成品というようなところもですね、手掛けております。このウィズコロナの時代においてはですね、買い物カゴをですね、除菌をするような、そういった装置、これはイオンさんとさせていただきましたし、その他にもですね、院外診察室のドームですとか、医療用の N95 マスク、そういったものの開発、そういったこともさせていただいております。スタートアップさんとの取り組みもですね、ここにおられますものづくりベンチャーズさんと連携をしながらですね、ものづくりベンチャーさんが資金を入れられているようなところに対してですね、施策のお手伝いというようなことも具体的にさせていただいております。具体的にはこのような形で、プロダクトデザインのところのみに関わらせていただきましたり、最終の組み立ての部分までですね、させていただくというようなことで、日本の施策投資の事例のみならずですね、海外の部分に関しましてもお手伝いをさせていただいております。我々のビジョンはですね、京都施策の一大集積地にすると。スタートアップさんのみならずですね、やっぱり社会課題に対して解決をしていこうというふうに思われるような、そういった方々と共にですね、一緒にこの京都で施策をしていければなというふうに思っております。先ほどちょっとですね、除菌ザウルスという、買い物カゴのですね、事例がございまして、ちょっとこれニュースで取り上げていただきましたので、ちょっと最後にご覧いただければなというふうに思います。ちょっと多分声が出ないですね。なんていう
今後はこのような機械も導入されて行われます。スーパー大手のイオンで新たな感染対策として導入されたのは、紫外線で買い物カゴを自動除菌する機械です。一度に60個を12分で除菌することができます。
人間がやる 1.5 倍ぐらいの処理量を考えています。
まずは年内に14店舗へ導入する予定で、その後は改良などをしながら順次拡大していくとしています。
今、現在はですね、
フジテレビアナウンサーの内田玲奈です。
今は14店舗ではなくて、現在60店舗にイオンの方に置いていただいているという状況でございます。以上でございます。ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much. Now, I hear that all judges decide today's winners. Is everybody here? Please wait. All judges join the Zoom again. Is everybody's here? Thank you very much. So, I'm so excited to see today's winners. So just I start from third winners. Fourth. Fourth. I didn't get the information. Okay. So.
Ask Paul Yonomine to announce it for you.
Okay, sure. Paul.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, let me first say I was very impressed with everyone's presentations. I mean, I'm an American. All the presenters were, Japanese, Asians, and they had to speak in English. And I think they all did a great job. In fourth place is Amaterasu. And yeah, congratulations. And I was a very strong supporter for your technology and your product. I think it's very important today with the aging farmers, not just in Japan, but in other parts of the world. ESG around climate change becomes really important. And some of the sensor technology that you represent is going to be very critical. And that's probably why you have some very good partners, that are involved in your initiative. So, I hope, I plan to continue looking at the progress of your company, and and if our paths were to cross, I'd love to support it. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Well, so
number 3 is announced by
Norio Murakami. Oh, sure. Norio-san. Will you announce the freelance? Yeah.
I think I'm in charge for number 2. Second place? No. Sorry, I couldn't get the.
You know which company it is, but it's actually number 3. It's the you know the company.
FMed.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now Paul mentions the.
Please wait, FMed. Please come in front of here.
So, Norio, here's a certificate. Can you put your hands up on the screen? Can you raise your hands up? Is this too complicated? Oh. So it looks like you're holding the certificate. Okay, you can't see yourself on screen. We see you. Can you see yourself on the screen there? With the certificate, and you're standing. You're there in front of the certificate. Okay. We have you. We're trying to make it look like you're giving him the certificate, Norio. You're not understanding what I'm saying. Okay. Anyway, congratulations. Norio has some comments on FMED.
Okay. The FMED, the goal you are trying to accomplish is very important. Of course, the business-wise, it's a tough, area. Many hard competitors there, and they are also doing very hard work to win this area. However, looking forward to your success, even in that tough arena. Because you have some level of the technology already, and also you have the passion to help the young surgery who are under still training period, but also some remote surgery opportunity, which maybe the country or people under development can get the equal level of the medical treatment, healthcare. From those two, point of view, I again looking forward to your success in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Irano Diamond-san will have announce the second winners.
Yes, I'm really pleased to announce that Elso, the glasses company, is.
Lee Junli-san, please come to the front.
Figure out what I was trying to ignore you here earlier, trying to get him to look like he's holding the certificate in front of his face on the screen. You don't see what we're projecting, do you, Alana?
I do. How cool is that?
So, okay, can you pretend you're holding the certificate for her? There we go. Okay. Congratulations.
I want to tell you how excited I am to hear about Elso's new product. And as I told the judges, it's a huge problem that many, many people in the world have, but I have a personal relationship to it because my husband has this problem, and he bought an earlier version of your product. It was very expensive, but it changed his life. It really changed his life, being able to adjust his glasses, because he finds himself all the time in the car with the wrong glasses, at his computer at work with the wrong glasses, and being able to make those changes in real time and adjust them, I think will be life-changing for many, many people in the world. So thank you. And I want to be one of your first customers. I will commit to buying one of the first 1,000 of your first production run for my husband. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So the first prize, Shiriro-san, you will announce the first prize?
Absolutely. So I think we're all here to congratulate Sun Metal for the first prize.
Hey, Takizawa-san, please come to the front.
I think let's have him stay up and make some comments after Cyril makes his comments.
Sounds good. Omedetou. So my first investment ever, actually, believe it or not, was in Farm Labs a decade ago. And today feels just like a similar moment, but in metal 3D printing. And the main reason this keeps happening is because established companies have a rather unfair disadvantage in some ways vis-a-vis new players, because they have lots of legacy issues to deal with, and new companies are more likely to implement and introduce new solutions to old problems. So today we're here to celebrate Sunmetal and their technology, which is about to revolutionize production volumes in particular, while expanding the types of industries to be covered as well. And when you compare the size of the entire manufacturing industry with the size of the advanced manufacturing industry today, there is a lot of room to grow. So it's great to see meaningful ventures coming out of Japan. And I wish Sunmetal and their team the best for the decade to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Cyril. And thank you very much for having me here today and to get this prize. I'm very honored. As Makino-san mentioned in the beginning, Hardware Ventures has very long and hard journey. And so it's a great opportunity to connect and share our progress together, especially in Kyoto. And still, one of our core industry in Japan is Monozukuri, and we are still struggling with innovation of big companies. So our Monozukuri Ventures, we have to take part of this role, and so let's have an impact on the world from Japan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So we'll hear the review from the main judge, Allen Miner, for today's all pitches, please.
So an observation that I make, people who've heard me give this wrap-up speech before, it's going to sound repetitive because every time we do this event, I say, this is the best batch of startups we've ever seen here before. And it's not just that I'm a mother who loves all her children equally. It's not because I'm a 5th grade teacher who wants their students to think they're special. It's really true. Every year, the quality of startups that we're seeing here at this event, the quality of startups that are being created in Kansai, the quality of startups that are being created in Tokyo is steadily improving. And for someone who's been involved with the startup ecosystem in Japan for 22 years now, it's very gratifying to see the continued efforts of teams like the Monozukuri Ventures team, to see the continued increase in the level of challenge, the quality of impact that startup entrepreneurs are pursuing in Japan, and to see the growth of the ecosystem of mentors, of business partners, of investors that can support them and help them realize those dreams. So the companies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Any of you, if you had presented at this competition 2 or 3 years ago, you probably would have won. So competitions like this get harder and harder. But I want you to realize that all of you are pursuing more challenging businesses, more interesting businesses with a higher likelihood of success than your peers who were here 4 or 5 years ago. So you all are pursuing amazingly valuable opportunities. You all seem to be further along in the development of your product than startups who presented here in the past. And I can't wait to hear from Monozukuri Ventures at our occasional meetings, the progress that they're observing and interacting with you about as you take your journeys. That said, one other thing that I've noticed every year, and it's repetitive, each year there is one company that is so outstanding. The impact the company will have in the industry they're serving or for the construction industry is so outstanding, and the technology seems credible. The business opportunity seems big. Every year it is true that the company that wins this contest, it's almost unanimous. Almost every year, all the judges think that the same company is the winner. Usually, and this was true this year too, I'm the one exception. I had you as number 2. I had Elso as number 1. And anyway, so it is true. There's always one exceptional outstanding company. This is the first time I recall when listening to the presentations, I said, I want to have a follow-up meeting with these guys and consider investing in the company. There were 3 or 4 companies here this year that I want to seriously take a look at investing in. That's new. So I think it's good that this event is just once a year instead of every month. It makes you work harder to find the best hardware startups in Japan to come here each year. That means that every year the competition gets harder and the companies get better. And Japan's startup ecosystem and Kansai startup ecosystem moves forward. So I can't wait to have follow-up meetings with several of the companies, and I can't wait to see what Monozukuri Ventures Hardware Cup looks like this year. And medal 1, take the gold in Pittsburgh. You heard me, Alana. I have a bias for our Tokyo startup to win the global competition later this year. Anyway, thank you, Monozukuri Ventures team and Makino-san, and thank you to all of the presenters for being here today. For most of you, all of you coming here and being in person, and thank you to all the judges for the great feedback and comments and suggestions.
Thank you very much, Allen-san. So at the end, we want to take a photo shoot, memorial photo shooting. Actually, looks like a screenshot shooting, but all startups people, please come to the front. Allen-san and Makino-san also.ちょっとお手数ですが、審査員が映るよう中腰で皆様お願いいたします。はい。大丈夫です。できるだけすべてお願いいたします。Judges, please make us smile. Cheers. Okay. Is everybody okay? Thank you very much, all done.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining Monozukuri Hardware Cup 2022. See you at 2023.
Aloha.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. 皆様、この度はご参加いただきありがとうございました。まして、この後、